there, and welcome back to Gaulia. In today's episode, we're going to return to our city area. So last time we finished off our village, and today I want to get back to kind of, the city, which is the basis of this series. It's been, a bit of a task getting that village done, 2 episodes, but it's all done now, and it's time to return to the city. So I think today we'll work on some of the infrastructure like roads and some of the train track stuff, just some terraforming, getting it kind of sculpted up and ready to go. But first I thought it would be cool. I have these containment chambers here, and I always intended to fill these with the creepers, right? Because this is a creeper farm. And I wanted this place to have that evil kind of, science headquarters vibe going on here. So I wanted these to be kind of like testing chambers, and I was thinking because it's a creeper farm, we'll get some creepers in here, name tag them, and I thought it would be cool if anybody, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these things. I think we have 6, but yeah, so we have 6 of these, but I think only like 4 or 5 of them I'll be able to get creepers into from the water stream for the farm. So, if you would like a creeper named after you, as long as it is not a, inappropriate name, feel free to leave me a name in the comments, and I'll get you a creeper in one of these cells. So without further ado, let's turn our attention to our city area. And I think we'll do that starting with the train tracks. And we could probably start doing that with a time lapse. So enjoy. What do you think you're doing? Gonna die, that's what you're doing. I still have the mod that I use for the villagers, and apparently it changes the way the zombies look. Uh, it does some weird things. There's some weird iron golems that spawn every once in a while that look like I don't know, aliens. But again, I'm really only using it for the villagers to make them look a little bit more realistic. If you saw the lore section in the last episode, that's kind of the only real point I'm putting it in there. It doesn't change gameplay. But yeah, so we built this whole tunnel area. Should have really done like a before after, one of those fancy little transitions where it's like, oh, spin around and now it's behind me, but whatever. I don't know how to do that stuff anyway. But I do think I'm going to take the torches out of there at some point, but I still have to put train tracks running through there. I do think it looks a lot better, and it's going to be like, it's going to give it, once the tracks are, and I'm feeling these tracks actually go somewhere. Ooh, not going to make it. But it's pretty long. It took a little while to dig out. I was too lazy to move my beacon over, which always is what happens, right? I have a beacon, I don't feel like breaking it down, re-putting it back up, and then I just dig it out, and it takes way longer than just moving the beacon would have taken, but, whatever. So yeah, so that's going to come around through there, out here, and we're going to have a little kind of storage yard. So I've extended this parking lot a little bit. We'll have some shipping containers, a crane. It's going to be picking one of them up. You've probably seen it in the lower sections if you've watched them, but we're going to build it in survival, and I need a ton of copper for that, but it'll be fine. Also, I want to talk you through kind of where I'm going with the road. So I'm going to put that on screen. You might have noticed it was already done, but I'm going to put the replay footage on the screen and we'll talk through kind of my thought process there. So, I wanted a road that was coming up off of this main strip that's running through our industrial area and kind of wrapping up and around this hillside. I tried to make it so it never goes more than, it's essentially 4 blocks per, or 4 wide per 1 height increase, giving you 2 slab rows and 2 full, solid block rows per height increase. I felt like anything steeper, like the 1-to-1, was way too steep for a road. I actually think this is probably steeper than I'd like it to be, but it's just for space considerations and the scale that we're doing, I kind of need to just, take some liberties. But it's going to come up and then it's going to run all the way into what's going to become the city center. And then the city buildings will just start coming all through the side of the road, and there's going to be side roads, and we'll probably plot some of the roads out before we do anything else. Kind of like if you ever played City Skylines, a lot of times you build your grid, decide where your unique buildings are going to go, and then zone. And that's kind of exactly how I'm going to approach this process moving forward. Is we're going to build a couple road grids out, maybe have a few showcase buildings that we put in there, and then continue moving forward. So you can see from up here, it's growing a lot just from adding those 2 things. I mean, it's not filled in, but the scope of it, the expanse of it is starting to really become much more, apparent. I also really think this just adds so much to, looks like I might have missed a block in there, but I think just having this sculpted terrain adds a lot, and I think I did a good job of blending it back into the vanilla, right? Like, all this up here is just vanilla terrain generation. As it fades off into the distance, I think vanilla terrain generation looks pretty good. It all looks pretty choppy from up close, but this is like from that mid-range. Yeah, I did miss some blocks. I think this is going to be really nice for us. Oh, wow. How did that happen? Do I have anything I can use? Nope. Also, I've just decided that this chest monster is just going to get... it's going to get covered up. I'm just going to keep it here, underground, as a base of operations that nobody will ever see. Oh no, how could I do that? Oh, let's see, let's go. 1, 2, 3. I think the terracotta has, like, when you're close in with anything, that's, you really, like, from far away, I kind of like it. Could have missed that. Probably build up some of these little rocky areas with slabs or stairs to make it look a little bit more chunky. The question is really going to be, so if you look over here, this is all a giant gaping hole. That's going to have to get filled in. Does this become, because this height level is very similar to where the road is, does this become urban? I think it does. So I'm not going to do too much terraforming as far as like foliage, trees, anything, because I believe this is all going to come down at some point. I'm just not sure yet. The goal is to push the city into here, but as I started looking at this, I wanted it to, like, the main road to come essentially perpendicular to this one. This gets very hilly very quick on either side. If I flatten this out, there's a lot more space in here. Obviously, it involves getting rid of, or, you know, doing a lot of covering up of vanilla generation holes. But I think it's going to end up being more on this side than the other side. I'll tell you what, this is a massive cavern, by the way. Oh boy. And I came down here last night randomly while I was mining stuff. There's dripstone down here. I don't think that I've found dripstone yet. Get away. Still haven't found a lush cave. So there you go. That's a handle on some of the infrastructure stuff we've been doing. I've been looking at this mountain range, and I'm like, there has to be a deep dark somewhere, right? I really want Swift Sneak, and we really need to find a deep dark. So I think that's what we're going to do next. Find the deep dark. Oh, okay. Guess we go underwater. Whoa. Dude, didn't even plan that. That's awesome. That looks so cool. Shaders. But that doesn't mean there's an ancient city down here, so... I'm not using cheater camera for exploration purposes. I feel like we gotta find it on our own. Oh my goodness. This just looks so cool. Oh, a deep slate coal. So, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say... do mobs not spawn in deep dark biomes, or is that just ancient cities? Because maybe there's one beneath us? There's definitely no mob spawns in this room. Diamonds. Not that I really have any need for these things anymore. This is the one world that I play in where when I see gravel I actually want to mine it because I use so much concrete. I mean, I don't have much planned right now, but after building that giant tower of concrete, I'm getting any gravel I ever see. I think I'm going to get some night vision potions to make this more pleasurable for both you and I. Let's make a potion shulker. Seems like an important thing to have. I tend to use purple as my shulkers for whatever type of shulker is like, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. It's not going to hold building blocks because there's really no purple palette in this game other than purple, and I don't know that I'll ever build with that. It's disgusting. Of course, you're entitled to your own opinion about it and can be wrong if you like. Alright, now that's taken care of. Back to the mountain range. Alright, let's fire one of these up. Wow. Well, look at that guy trying to be all sneaky. We're gonna take you apart. I really hope there's an ancient city down here. Ooh. Ooh. That, my friends, is an ancient city. We have done it. Now to not die. I have a habit of taking every single one of these things out just because the noise that they make. Every time I hear it, I just feel like impending doom is about to occur. I'm playing scared, guys. I'm not actually good at this game, so I've lost a lot of equipment to wardens in my Minecraft days. Alright, do we see any of the bad boys? The little tattletales. There's, of course, I believe it's... yeah. One right next to the chest. That's kind of rude. This, however, is why we bought a bunch of wool. Oh god. That's one. Gotta be more careful than that. You know, I'm not super good on these structures as far as like where chests generate. I think it's in like all the tower things, like this one obviously, but like do they generate just in there? Oh yeah, see? There's a hidden guy. Being a little jerk back there. Ooh. I don't know how to handle this correctly. Enchanted golden apple, you say? I think we need to make a respawn point. Give us some place to retreat to. Or, you know, respawn when we die. I say win because it's probably inevitable. Oh my goodness. Like, look at all these jerks. Oh, the sound from this reach. Well, okay. So, if we trigger him, we immediately fly that way. Right? Swift Sneak 3. And Ward. So Ward is not the one that I want. I want Silence. But it's off to a good start, I would say. Looks like there's 2 chests over there. Heavily in enemy territory. Oh boy. You know what, we're getting out of here. We'll keep in mind where our forward operation base is, and then come back here with a bunch of equipment we don't care about at some point. We have Swift Sneak, but at some point I do want Silence. Really? Oh my god. Try a different way. So I had this table over here. Yeah. This is going to be my skulk containment area. It's going to be so annoying. Oh yeah, so then now we have them studying redstone on this side, and then some skulk, which I'll probably do a lore section about them discovering. All this irresponsible, research and whatnot will lead to our collapse. But the whole reason we came here, right? Let's add the Swift Sneak. Essentially walking speed when we do this. That's great. Is my name tag always showing like that? I don't know why it's doing that. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments. That would be really nice. I don't want that there. Get rid of it. Go away. All right, let's start building our tracks. I think that's the next best step. Probably in a time lapse. All right, well, it's certainly not perfect, but it gets the job done. I've got tracks going through this whole tunnel now, and the whole reason I made this a tunnel instead of leveling everything is so we never actually have to look at them because I don't really like. It's kind of hard to curve train tracks. I don't know, maybe a bigger scale or something, but I think it looks pretty good from far away, though, right? Like it gives you the idea that there's tracks going into that tunnel. Realistically, there's no reason we're ever gonna walk through there. So yeah, it's not perfect, uh, as you can tell. I don't know what the better answer is. Maybe there is one, maybe there isn't. But overall, you know what it's supposed to be. I don't hate it. I don't love it, I don't hate it. I need to find something to do with all these bricks. Stupid trial chambers gave me way too many bricks. If it was polished tough, it would have been much more ideal. I seem to use some variation of polished tough a lot right now. Speaking of polished tough, our crane is made entirely of polished tough and burn. So that should be fun to build. Oh, do I not have any blackstone? Well then. This seems dangerous. Stupid guests. They really shoot you from far away. See Blackstone, man. Yeah, that's enough. That is enough of that. Alright, well, we are moving along. We got our rail line built out to our iron farm here, and the tunnel put in. We have our roads built out now, and next episode we'll build a crane here, and then we'll see. Oh boy, that's not easy. And then we'll see what we get to outside of that. I mean, the road's coming along, and we have an area to push into for our actual city. We could work on that. I have a lot of options, and that's kind of the excitement here is you just have so many places you can go with things. So in the meantime, I want to thank you all for watching. I'm going to try to keep these episodes sub 30 minutes since nobody watches them more than 5 minutes anyway, but uh, try to keep them sub 30 minutes. And in that case, I'm going to push the crane to the next episode. But sometimes you really got to get a lot of the stuff that maybe you don't think about as much done, like things like this, which are very time consuming, and rails and things to add the life to the world, the road. And then I want to think about putting something in here, maybe something that has I can use to add some buildings in here, something industrial, even if it's like some storage or something. I'm not sure. But there's a lot of different things. I might even next episode try to come up with like a list of possible projects to work on that we can bounce back and forth between in case I get bored of one or things like that. So thank you all for watching. I still have no idea why this thing is above my head. I think it has something to do with uh whatever mod, the essential mod thing here. And I'll see you all in the next episode.